Today I'm going to be making a very simple French pastry cream, and at the end of this video there's going to be a clickable link where you're going to see me using this pastry cream in another video with puff pastry. So let's get on with the ingredients. Half a cup of regular granulated sugar, 1.5 cups of milk, and I'm just using regular milk, 4 egg yolks, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm using salted butter in this recipe, and also 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So those are the ingredients, so let's get started. Okay, so our first step, I'm going to get all of the egg yolks into my bowl. I'm going to get the sugar in there as well. And my cornstarch, just dump that right in. Now this will, when I mix it, it's going to get very, very dry, but then it will get wet again. However, I'm going to take a little bit of my milk, just a tiny bit, just to loosen this up. Okay, you can do this, yes or no, whatever you want. It will help out just with mixing this together. You don't have to put the milk in, but just for today I'm just going to show you how this, just the addition of the milk is just going to make this a little bit, you know, more runny. So you can see that's really, really nice. So at this point right here, what I'm going to do now to speed things up, I've got my, my pot here. I'm going to grab all of my milk and I'm going to pour that in here, and I have a little portable stove to the left of me, and I'm going to get that on there, and I will show you this setup once my milk is coming up to a boil. We're going to finish off the recipe and then we're going to put it back onto the little stove. So at that point I will show you the stove. So at this point I'm just going to heat up my milk, which is on the little portable burner right now. I'll just mix this up. That's good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let my milk come up to a boil and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I have heated my milk up to the boiling point, and while it was in my pot I was stirring it constantly so that it doesn't burn on the bottom. And then I just poured it back in here just to make it a little easier. And at this point now I'm just going to start pouring the milk into the egg mixture. And what you want to do is just stir, whisk, whisk, whisk. Okay, and I'm only going to pour in about 1/2 of this, just like that. I could pour the whole thing in if I wanted to, but that's enough. That's just like that. That's good. Okay. And what I'm doing here is I'm tempering the eggs. So I'm pouring a very, very hot liquid, in this case the milk, but I'm whisking at the same time. So what I'm doing is I'm incorporating air, and what's happening is because I'm doing both of those at the same time and I'm pouring the milk in very slowly, I'm trying to not shock the actual eggs into actually cooking. And you can see right here, everything's beautiful. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little hot plate. We'll get that over here. So this is my little portable element. I had turned it off. There we go. I'm going to grab my original pan here, just like that. So now let me refocus and I'll be back in a second. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour all of this back into my pot. And I want to start whisking this right away because I do not want this burning. I'm going to grab the rest of the milk and just get that back in there. And there we go. And now all I have to do is just get a nice medium heat going here. I don't want this full blast because I will burn the mixture. So I'm just going to keep it nice and low. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep stirring. I just want to constantly whisk this. If you stop for 30 seconds, you could actually burn this. So you do really want to just take your time, just have fun with this, and just stir, stir, stir. All of a sudden you're going to start feeling this really start thickening up. It's going to tighten up the mixture. As the cornstarch starts to thicken, you're going to feel the magic starting to happen. So I'm going to keep going at this. As soon as I find that it starts thickening up, then I'm going to come back again. I've increased my heat just a little bit, and now I can feel this thing all of a sudden starting to thicken. I'm going to remove my pot from the heat, and I'm just going to keep stirring. So as soon as you start feeling it thicken up, remove it from the direct heat because that's sending a lot of heat directly into the bottom of your pot. And now I'm just going to keep stirring, just like that. It's a little hard here because I'm trying to stay on camera while I'm doing this, so I'm looking at my camera while I'm doing this. Okay, so I just want to get this all incorporated, and I do not want to stop. I just want to get this going here, just like that. You can see how thick this has become already. You know, it changes within about 10 seconds. And that there is done, so I'm just going to turn this right off, and I'm going to move this out of the way. There we go. I'll get my little thing down here. And that's perfect. And then I'm going to pour in my vanilla. Okay, that will cool this mixture just a little bit. And then all of my butter. Just get the butter right in there. There we go. And keep whisking. And that's it for this recipe. This is how easy it is. You really do have to keep whisking though. When you get this back onto your heat, do not stop. Don't do anything. You know, don't just keep stirring because it will burn on you. And then you've just lost a lot of time and your ingredients. So you really do have to just force yourself, you know, don't stop for 15 seconds. It's amazing what'll happen to this in even 10 seconds. You saw how quickly it changed for me. So I'm stirring, stirring, stirring. And there we go. I could cut some of this out, but I'm just gonna keep going. That's good. So that's perfect, just like that now. Everything's well incorporated. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna strain this into a brand new bowl. See, at this point now, you know, this is sitting on here. A lot of the heat is taken away from the bottom of the pan, so I'm not worried, or the pot rather, so I'm not worried about anything burning anymore, so that's good. So I'm gonna go grab a bowl and I'll be back. Get my little sieve. Now, if you've been really, really good, you don't have to, you know, sift this, but you should get into the habit of always doing this, even if you think you did a perfect job, because you will always find, you know, little bitties, little bits, you know, little clumps that may have occurred while you were stirring. And I'll just show you the inside of my pot. Can we see it here? Where are we? There we go. I mean, I did a very good job, but I was, you know, I didn't stop. So I'm just gonna, you know, I didn't stop whisking. Oh, it smells so good. And like I said, this is gonna be the first part of a two-part video recipe. I'll put a clickable link right at the end, and you'll see the next part of the video where we're actually going to be using this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my whisk and just push all of this down. And then what we're going to do is we want to cool this right down. So we're going to get some plastic wrap and we're going to put that right over the top of our pastry cream. And that will stop it from forming a skin. Perfect. Now I'm going to take a piece of plastic wrap, and what you do not want to do is put the plastic wrap just on top of the bowl, because there is air inside, and what that will do, it will cause a film on your beautiful pastry cream. So what you want to do instead is take your plastic wrap and actually get it in contact with the surface of the pastry cream and just push it down. Just give it some nice, tender, loving care, just like that, and make sure it's all touching all the way around, just like that, and it's perfect. So now, that's it. We're going to pop that in the fridge, and then we're going to head on to our next video where I'm going to be using some puff pastry, and we're going to use this pastry cream. So that's it for this video. If you want to see how I use this, just click the link at the end of this video, which you'll see in a couple of seconds, and then we're going to use this exact pastry cream. So that's it for this video. I'll see you next time.